Hi everyone, my name is Rachel and welcome to the French Seams. Thank you very much for joining me for today's video. So this is going to be a bumper weekend catch-up where I catch you up on everything that's come into my sewing room, what I've been making, what I've been crafting, what I've been knitting and my plans as well. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then stay tuned. So thank you all for joining me today. If you're new to my channel, you are very, very welcome. I've had a tiny flurry of new subscribers, so thank you very, very much. And if you're a regular viewer or subscriber, then welcome back. So as I mentioned, I put out a Friday Sews about 2 weeks ago. That was before Easter. And then in the meanwhile, though, I did put out my spring plans video. So thank you very, very much to everybody who's watched that video so far. I'll drop a link to it in the description box below if you haven't had a chance just yet. But thank you very, very much to everybody who commented on that, and also thank you for your fantastic pattern recommendations. I love getting those, so I'm going to compile them all and I will share them all with you on a later vlog for sure. But my plan this weekend is to respond to all those lovely comments, so thank you very, very much. And spoiler alert, I've now made 2 of those spring plans already, so I will share them with you very, very soon. So as I mentioned, my last Friday Sews was before Easter, so shall I catch you up on what's been happening since then? So we had a very, very lovely Easter here as a family, just the 4 of us. The weather was kind of hit or miss. Easter Sunday, it was freezing cold and hailstones, the full works, so it was the perfect day to sit at home and craft and play with the boys and cook up a delicious roast lamb. It was just a lovely, lovely time. I also made a lovely new cake. So if you don't know, I really, really enjoy baking. And I think I mentioned in that last video that I found a new recipe in the magazine that I got free at Stitch Festival. And it was kind of an apricot-y almond tart. It was absolutely gorgeous. I'll pop in a picture here. And I actually found that recipe online for anybody who's interested. I'll drop it in the description box below as well. It was lovely. I was concerned I might have to freeze some after the weekend. No, it all disappeared. So in this picture as well is my Easter table runner that I made maybe 2 years ago, and also my Easter bunny napkins that I made out of a bit of gingham fabric that I cut into squares. And then there's a little nifty way of folding them into little bunny ears, which is adorable, and my boys helped me make those, and I'll drop in, I think it's a YouTube link on how you make those little bunny ears napkins as well. So we went all out for Easter. It was a lovely, lovely time. We got to go on a few walks, a few bike rides, and I got to do a good bit of crafting. I cast on my new knitting project, but more on that at the end of the video. So we really had a lovely, lovely Easter. So everything's back to normal now. Classes, activities, school, homework, the full work. So Easter was a lovely, lovely break for us all. I think we really, really needed it. So what else has been going on? So you may notice I have a slightly different backdrop. And apologies if some videos I put out at a later date have a different backdrop. That's the power of the internet. But anyway, in the backdrop today, I have a new shelving unit. So my sewing room was in bad need of a little refresh. So I spent a few days over Easter doing a complete clear out, opening up all the boxes. I hadn't a clue what was in all of them, sorting out everything, and now everything is nicely in its place. So we had this bookshelf from years ago. I think we had it in the kitchen years ago, and we thought, oh, that could be good in the sewing room. So we moved it up here, and I got to work stacking it full of all the lovely things. So you'll see my 2 little friends up here, my little Easter bunnies, who I did not have the heart to put away with the Easter decorations. They are too cute, and they're going to remain in my sewing room because they're adorable. So yeah, this shelving unit is just perfect. It holds all my stuff now, and the 2 tables next to me are pretty much clear. I can lay out projects, and my sewing room, I'm incredibly lucky to have it, but you can see the walls here. It's quite small. So everything now is in a proper place, and I feel like I have so much more space, and I think that clears your head and just makes you instantly more creative. So I'm very, very happy in my new sewing room, my new-ish sewing room. So yes, you'll see a slightly different backdrop. So that's what's been going on in the sewing room. What has come into the sewing room? Well, it's not necessarily a sewing item, but it is a crafty item, and I'm really keen to share it with you. So if you cast your minds back a couple of years ago now at this stage, I went to a Mosaic workshop with a very lovely friend of mine, and I had such a lovely time. I'll pop in the picture of what I made here. It's a little Christmas tray. It is just beautiful, and I did holly leaves and stuff. I love it. So then older French Seams really wanted to come with me. So Fia, the very lovely lady who runs these workshops, she does children's classes. So I've now brought him twice, and he absolutely loves it. I think we're going again later on this year. So I'll show you one of the pieces we made last year, which is a little B, which is fantastic. So in a half-day workshop, you come away with a full mosaic. It's fantastic. And then she just gives you instructions on how to grout it at home. So I recently noticed that the very lovely Fia, she's Fia Mosaic over on Instagram, and that's her website as well. I'll link everything down below. She was doing a little giveaway. So of course I had to enter. And I won a prize. I was so excited. So I won a kit, which is just marvelous, because I've been to her workshops now a couple of times, but given the opportunity to be given the opportunity to do one at home was just fantastic. So she very, very kindly sent me a kit. So thank you, Fia. And it arrived. So this is what it looks like, her lovely little sticker. And if you open it up, you get instructions, which is fantastic. And then here is what you get. Try and hold it up. So I asked for a tray again, which I think is very, very nice. She gives a little bag full of the tiles, and to cut the tiles you get this little contraption here, and she gives you full instructions on how to use it. You get a little paintbrush and some glue to stick down the mosaic tiles, and then you get a little sachet of grout for when you're done. So I'm so excited to get started on this. I had one little go, so I've made a few little petals, so we'll see how they work out, but I will keep you updated on how I get on with this. So I'm going to cut all the tiles, and then I'm going to get my boys to help me stick them onto the tray, and then you glue them all down, and then you wait overnight for the glue to dry, and then you mix the grout and you grout it, and then hopefully in a few weeks I'll have a beautiful new tray. So I will of course share this with you. I'll share my progress with you of course along the way. So thank you very, very much, Fia, for that. I'm so excited to get started. So Fia runs workshops in Dublin. They are absolutely fantastic. So if you're local to Dublin, and even not so local to Dublin, I would highly encourage you to check them out. And then of course she does the kits. So if you're not so local to Dublin, you can get yourself a fantastic kit to do a lovely mosaic at home. And how wonderful would that be as a little gift to a crafty friend as well, to give them a mosaic kit. So wonderful. So yes, I would encourage you to check out her website. I'll link it down below. But Fia, thank you very, very much. We're super excited to get started on our new little tray. So what have I been making since I saw you last? So in my last video, I showed you my little knitted bunnies. Yes, I'm still going on about my knitted bunnies. I do love them. But I did mention that I wanted to do one more Easter craft, and I did manage to do it. I think I did it late on Easter Saturday night. It was great fun. Loved making it. And I wanted to make a bunny ears jar lid. I know. And I made it. And here it is. So this was a little Instagram post I saw. I'll pop in a picture here. So it's a YouTube video, and I basically made this in real time along with the video, which was fantastic and so much fun. And bonus, it's using up yarn from all my crochet blankets, which is my ultimate aim. So I made a little purple one, and it's two little bunny ears, and it's got this lovely scalloped edge at the bottom, and then you can basically fit it onto a jar lid. I'll pop a picture here, and fill it full of Easter treats or whatever you would like to fill it with. These are so cute, and they don't take long to make, and they are utterly adorable. And I'm now going to make loads, and every single jar in my whole entire house is going to have a bunny ears lid because they are just too cute. So I will link the video down below, and definitely check it out if you would like your own set of crochet bunny ears to put on a jar lid near you. So I was delighted to get that done, and I was so determined to do one more Easter craft because you know how much I love seasonal crafting. So anyway, what else have I been getting up to? Shall we move on to the sewing portion of this video? I think we shall. So I mentioned the last time that I wanted to make my boys those Minecraft jumpers and t-shirts from the fantastic fabric that I got at Stitch Festival at the Fabric Chicks. So I made them up, and the boys love them. So Older French Seams got a t-shirt. This is the Waves and Wilds Eclipse t-shirt, I think it is. Yes, so Eclipse t-shirt. And then Baby French Seams wanted a sweatshirt, so I made him the Waves and Wild, sorry for knocking you, Adventure Raglan, and he wanted the thumbs up pattern. Why did I give a 5-year-old white cuffs? That was the worst idea ever. But they look adorable, if a little bit grubby. So they both love them. They've both been wearing these. These have been in and out of the wash since I made them. For both of them, I bound the neckline here in this fantastic Specky Seamstress binding. I put a summer one on it, and it just has me dreaming of summer holidays. It's fantastic. So I do have a YouTube video, a tutorial on how to bind a neckline, so I'll link that in the comment box down below, not the comment box, the description box down below. So they both get bound necklines. They both get labels, of course. So Baby French Seams gets Made by Mum. That's a Little Rosy Cheeks one that I picked up recently at Stitch Festival. And then Older French Seams gets, these are Little Rosy Cheeks release as well, actually, a couple of years ago. They're little pencils, which I think are adorable. So they both get those as t-shirts and jumpers. And then after I made those, I had a little bit of fabric left over. I think I got 1.5 meters of fabric, so pretty good to get a t-shirt and a jumper out of that. But I had a little bit left over, and I am now determined not to let any scraps go in my scrap bin anymore. I want everything used up, because things get put aside for a rainy day and they just never get looked at again. So I'm determined to use up every single last crumb of fabric. So I made them both matching snoods. So this is a fantastic pattern. I think originally I found this on the apple tree cottage, apple green cottage, I can never remember what it's called. I'll link it down below. It comes in a variety of sizes, but now basically that I know how to do it, I just cut out strips of fabric and I back it in fleece, and then you do a little burrito effort to make a lovely little snood. And the boys love these, and I think they're great for them to wear, so they both get a little snood. And that is all that fabric gone, which is marvelous. So that was my first little sewing make. Pop that over here. My next sewing make is what I'm wearing. So on top, I'm wearing a beloved Billy sweatshirt, a Tilly and the Buttons Billy in a lovely pink, and it's got this little heart applique that I put on. It's a Waves and Wild, another Waves and Wild free pattern that I put on years ago for Valentine's Day. But my new make is what I'm wearing as trousers. So this is going to be incredibly difficult to show you. So hopefully when you see this, I will have popped in some pictures now. It's a fantastically sunny day. It's wonderful. So I'm hoping to pop out to the garden and get some garden pictures. Here's hoping. So I made the sepia trousers, and these, yes, my love affair with the sepia trousers is now continuing into 2026. I love these. The cord is from Rainbow Fabrics, so I will drop in my code in the description box below for 20% off Rainbow Fabrics. That is an affiliate link. Thank you very much. So I had 2 meters of this cord, and I wanted to make a pair of sepia trousers. So if I stand back, here they are. They've got wonderful big pockets. I did the barrel leg, and then I did the elastic at the waist. So my waist is here. That's my belly button here, and they sit about here. I removed 3 inches front and back from the rise, just to let you know. I removed the paper bag, so they're just elastic waistband, super comfy, and then I lined them in this lovely floral fabric along with the pockets, lined those. They've got big pockets at the back, little Sarah Hart's label there as well. So that's difficult, very, very difficult talking to you like that. So these are my trousers, and I absolutely love them. So I think I make a size 10 for the trousers, but then I grade to a 16 at the waist, but I remove effectively 6 inches from the rise, 3 inches front and back. So basically where I want my trousers to be isn't my waist measurement, if you know what I mean. So that measurement there fits into a size 16, and I think they fit really, really well, and they are so comfortable. So I did take out the paper bag bit of the waistband. So I basically folded the waistband piece in half, long sides together, and then I just cut out 2 waistbands, one in the cord and one in the floral fabric, sewed them together, turned them right size out, and then used that as a channel. And I did stitch in the ditch and all that good stuff. I was delighted with myself. The other place I put the floral fabric was on the hem facing of these as well, which I think looks really, really nice, and it just removes a little bit of bulk because, yeah, this cord is quite heavy. So I am so happy with how these came out. I've been wearing, I think I made them about a week ago. I think I've worn these about 4 or 5 times since I made them. I love them. So yes, the love affair continues, and I think they are perfect in a cord for this weather, because I don't think I alter the length any, and they're pretty good on me, and I wear them with trainers and you wear them with little jumpers, but I just love them, and I can't wait to get out my summer sepia trousers very, very soon. So you got a glimpse of the floral fabric, so that give you an indication of my next make, and I made my fringe dress, and here it is, and I love it. Florals for spring, yes, florals for spring, it is perfect. So this is the beautiful cotton poplin fabric that I got from Higgs and Higgs at the Stitch Festival. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a navy base with these beautiful flowers. I hummed and hawed about the direction. I think I got the direction correct. Again, to use up every single scrap, this is how much I had left to make a little scrunchie. So very happy with that. I even put in a little label in a scrunchie. Wow, how fancy am I? So that's my little scrunchie. So this is my fringe dress, which I love, and I think this is fringe dress number 4. So exact same as I always make it, but interestingly enough, I usually make this in a viscose, and the waist is pretty perfect. The waist on this is a little high, and I think that's to do with the cotton poplin fabric, which is very, very interesting. So instead of the centimetre allowance at the waist, I actually brought that down to a 1/4 inch, so just give me a little bit, but it's fine because it's got the waist tie. The waist tie folds your natural waist anyway, so that's fine. But delighted with how this came out. I did the turn ups on the sleeves, And I actually just sewed down the buttons because I always have them here anyway. I put the buttons down the front. You can just about see these were just ones I found in my stash, little purple buttons, and I sewed down the full button plackets so nothing peeks out at all because I can pop it on over my head. I did the facing here, and I've got this lovely, I think this is a Cozy Club, oh, need to fix my threads, beautifully handmade at the back, which I think is lovely. So that's, as I said, it's got the lovely gathering at the front, but all the gathering is concentrated at the front of the dress, which is lovely. So there's none of the hips, which is where I definitely don't need any more gathering. It's got the lovely waist ties, and I popped in a label here, which I think is hilarious. It says, "You do you." For the pockets, this is my tried and tested method for the pockets, where you sew them in, but then you do a slightly smaller seam allowance than the rest of the skirt so that they're slightly hidden, and I have secured them into the waist seam. So I do have a Friday Sews, I think, that shows exactly how I extend pockets into the waist seam. I'll link that down below. But basically, if I turn this inside out, I can show you. This is the waist seam. So I've extended the pocket all the way up to the waist seam. I've done all my gathers, attached the bodice to the skirt, all that good stuff, and then flapped the pocket over and secured it so it's entirely secured into the waist seam like this. And I love, love, love the finish that gives. So then the hem, I just did a small little baby hem because it was about knee length on me, because this is just 2 meters. So, and I am very, very happy with it. So I will be wearing this loads in spring. Again, hopefully I'll pop in a picture of me prancing around the garden in my spring dress. But yeah, delight with this, and I just adore the fringe dress pattern. It's so, so, so nice. I think the chalk and notch patterns are fantastic, the instructions, everything, and I will be making more fringe dress in the future for sure. So yes, this is my other little make. So what are my sewing plans? So I have 2 more plans that were in my spring plans video, and I will share them with you now because I'm hoping to get them started this week. So first up, I'm going to do a Donny shirt in this beautiful paint strokes fabric from Bornella, and it's part of the Ethel and Joan collaboration, and it is just beautiful. And with a little bit of sunny weather outside, I'm just dreaming of a little spring Donny shirt, and how cute would this be with my new Sepia trousers. So this is going to be plan number 1. I'm pretty sure I have my pattern up there. I'm hoping it's within easy reach and I can just cut that straight away. The next plan is this beautiful fabric, which again will go with my new Sepia trousers. So in my spring plans video, I mentioned that I wanted to make the toaster sweater out of this, but do it as a zip hack. So I was having a very lovely chat with my fantastic friends Sam Sola Sparkle and Catherine Sober to Makery this week, and I was talking about this and Sam said, but what about the LB pullover? So I thought, I had never considered that. I've made the LV pullover and it does still have a turtleneck, but it doesn't have cuffs or a hemband, which is what I was kind of keen on because I didn't want to break up this print, and also it saves on having to do cuffing and ribbing, all that good stuff. So I was thinking, so I've pivoted ever so slightly from my plans. I'm going to do the LV pullover, but I'm going to try and do a slightly wider neckband and still do the quarter zip hack. Watch this space. We'll see how it goes. This fabric is quite lightweight. It wouldn't be the weight of what I would usually make, say, a toaster sweater out of, but we shall see how it goes. If the collar flops down and stuff, that just makes it a little bit more summery, and I'm fine with that. But yes, so this could now be a toaster hack, but not using the toaster, using the LB pullover instead. Watch this space and come back next week and see how I got on. But yeah, this fabric is just glorious. This fabric is from the wonderful ladies from the Fabric Obsession, so love that. So that is all my sewing, what I've got up to over the past 2 weeks. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I'm now going to get started on the knitting portion of this video. So if you don't really have any interest in knitting, I will take absolutely no offence if you duck off now. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to leave a comment below, please feel free to do so. You know how much I love having the chats, but I will see you very, very soon again. However, if you would like a very long update on my knitting project, then please stay tuned. Right, shall we dive straight in to the knitting portion of this video? I'm so excited and I've been having so much fun knitting. So this is my stripe hype sweatshirt. I'll pop in a picture of it here and I'll link the designer and everything in the description box below. I got this pattern from Ravelry. So I started this on Easter Sunday and it's now about 2 weeks later. I am loving it. So here it is. This is my stripe hype so far. To say I've been knitting this at every available second, it is just fantastic. I got the inspiration to start this from the fantastic Sarah, so Sarah Sewed, Teresa Lost My Thread, and Erin Sews. And I think all of them had mentioned that it comes together quite quickly. And I was thinking, sure. And then I started like, this comes together so quickly and it's so much fun to knit, and you're literally saying one more stripe, one more stripe. So this is how far I've got, and I am loving it. So you can see I've got some yarn up here as well. So shall I talk you through the details of it? So you start off with the back, I believe. So I started off with the back with my green stripes. So far so good, that was all fine. Then you pick up stitches along the shoulder seam. That actually worked out really well, apart from this dodgy little area here, which I'm hoping will block out. So you pick up the stitches all the way along here, which came together beautifully. For a lot of these techniques, I went straight to the Pearl Soho website. They have the most fantastic instructions on how to do techniques. I'll link them down below. So then I moved on to the front, and for the front, then you start the stripes on the left, and then you start the stripes on the right, and then you join them. So then I got to this green stripe, and I said, I'm not going to have enough yarn. So I had bought one ball of each of these colours, and it was 50 grams. The pattern did say 60 grams, but I thought, oh, it'll be fine. No, it wasn't fine. I definitely needed a new ball of wool. So I went to order the new ball of wool, but I ordered them all from one place, which was a different place than I had ordered the balls, this colour originally. Seasoned and experienced knitters out there, I can hear you rolling your eyes at me. Yes, I know. I have now learned the hard way about dye lots. So basically, I had bought this green, and then I did another order from a different place, and all the colours came, and I said, they look a little bit different. So I'll pop in a picture here of the green. The green was actually fine. The purple, or the pinky purple, and the blue, and you can see they are clearly different. So I was thinking, oh, will I do something clever and just do the back in one colour and the front in another colour? And I reached out to my wonderful knitting friends to ask for advice. In the end, I said, Rachel, just do the right thing. See if you can return that one because it's the wrong dye lot, and buy the one you actually need. So I've done all that good stuff, and I do now have the proper dye lots. Lesson learned. So while I was waiting for the new yarn to arrive, you don't actually do the collar until the final step, but I thought, look, I have the cream, let's just do the collar. So I did the collar, and this is how it came out, and I love it. Picking up stitches all the way around and then doing the collar. So when I was doing my swatch, I did my swatch of this knit one through the back loop and purl one, which gives a lovely kind of twisted rib. And I was doing my swatch, and I was like, this looks nothing like the collar. Then of course I realized I was doing the swatch back and forth, but of course you do the collar in the round. Again, lesson learned. So when I did it on the collar, I was like, oh, this actually looks a lot more like the picture. And I think it came out beautifully. You change the size of your needle as well for the collar. Then you do the bind off on the collar, and I usually do the extremely stretchy bind off when I'm doing binding off for socks at the rib. However, they ask you to do an Italian bind off. So again, I googled it and I found a fantastic video. It wasn't Pearl Soho, it was somebody else, but I'll link it down below. And I did the Italian bind off, which is just magic. You don't do it with knitting, you do it with a tapestry needle. And it took me a little while to get used to the technique. I'm not going to lie, this is the 4th attempt, I think. And I literally had the kind of the key of how you do it written on a little piece of paper next to me to keep in mind of what I was doing. But I love how it comes out. I think it came out so nicely in this grey, and it's super, super, super stretchy. It's fantastic and so pretty, and I'm so delighted I learned how to do that. You do this on the cuffs, but she doesn't call for you to do it on the hem, but I think I'm just going to do it anyway because I like it so much. So that was my adventures with the collar. So by the time I'd finished the collar, my new yarn had arrived and I got going back in business again. So this was very, very stop and start, but we got there in the end. So then I was able to continue on with the green, then I did the pink, and then excuse me, then I continued on with the pink, and then by the time you get to the second round of the pink, you cast on stitches here for under the arm, and then at that stage you start going in the round. Are you still with me? So now we've done the pink, we've done the 3 stripes of the pink in the round, and I've moved on to this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous blue. And this is now where we start doing our decreases. So you can see, if I show you, I've got my needles held together with the boys' loom bands. So this is my marker for the start of my round. So you might be able to see that we're slightly decreasing. I also draw your attention, or maybe not too much attention, to my jogless round. So this is another very new to me technique. If you're knitting the round, of course, when you change colour, you're going to have a step where you do one colour and then you start your second round, but it's at a different level. So to avoid a jog in your rounds, you lift up one of the legs of the previous round. Again, I watched a video, and hopefully Where's it gone again? Hopefully I don't have too much of a jog in my round. Apologies, I've got such a frog in my throat today. So hopefully I don't have too much of a jog in my round. So now I'm going to continue on. So I'm still doing a few decreases, and I've got 2 more stripes of the blue, and then I'll do the hemband. But of course I will keep trying it on and see if it's going to be long enough. I'm hoping it's going to be long enough. If not, I'm just going to add 1 or 2 more rounds of the cream at the bottom, and then maybe make the hemband a little bit wider. We'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. But I am loving it so far. So after that, then you pick up at the sleeve and then do your 2 sleeves. And for that, I've got, you just about see maybe, I've got grey and I've got mustard for the sleeves. So this is my stripe pipe sweater, and I am just loving it. It has been so much fun knitting it. I'm absolutely loving it, and I am learning so much. I really am. And I can't wait to get started on the sleeves, all that good stuff. And then, yes, I'm sure I'll be coming back to you at the end when I need to block it, which terrifies me. It really does. This is superwash wool, so hopefully it'll be okay if I just give it a quick little soak and then lay it out to dry. So fingers crossed all will be well. But yes, absolutely loving it, and thank you for indulging me and me giving you a very long-winded, talk about how to make a short story very long, update on my stripe pipe sweater. So any advice from any seasoned knitters out there are very gratefully received. You know by now that my enthusiasm for these projects greatly outweighs any skill I have. So yes, any of your advice would be very much appreciated. So that is the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and if you're still with me, thank you very much. I do love sharing these projects with you. Again, if you want to leave me a comment on anything I've spoken about, please feel free to do so in the comment box below. If you like this video, I would very much love it if you give me a thumbs up, and also please consider subscribing. I would love to have you along on my sewing and my knitting and my crafting journey. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all well. I hope you all have a lovely week full of lovely crafting, and I will talk to you all again very soon in another video. Take care everyone. Bye.